Enemy care package inbound. Enemy spy plane incoming.
Lost B. Hardcore domination. Capture the objectives. Securing A. Care package on the way. Friendly Predator missile inbound.
Yeah, that's great.
Assassin. Securing Bravo.
This is flying grenade.
Scavenger. Enemy Cobra
Far
incoming.
away from him, too.
UAV online.
Yep, I got not playing in the back of A, so they should be fine.
Assassin.
Okay. Just over the tail. Play area.
Assassin. UAV online.
Here with us? No, he's just thinking.
Assassin.
Just on the bottom way. Trying to jump up on that thing and run up there with. Dude, I killed one, put one at the second chance on C.
Enemy care package incoming. Care package on the way. UAV online.
Package.
Assassin. Losing B.
Oh, fuck, they just got me with the fucking
Enemy UAV spotted. UAV recon standing by. Repeat. UAV recon. We lost Bravo. Securing B. Assassin.
motherfucker got any chance.
Securing B.
Oh shit, grenades on ball.
Scavenger.
Sorry.
Well, fuck knows I see him jumping
Losing
around
C.
through there.
We lost Charlie.
Came around the corner and I got
Scavenger.
Got vest over your guy. Why do people complain about everything? Everybody has a fucking grenade.
All right, Steve, we're kicking this one off. It's going to be an aftermath domination game type.
the matches just get intense. It just comes down to the wire. If it even team deathmatch, and it's only a couple kills, and the last minute, those are the games that end up being the most fun in public matches. So to see that now be able to happen more often because you're actually getting paired up accurately.
This experience that and you're talking about right now, it's something that we need to show everybody, right? And the best way to do that is to put it directly in the game with the League Play feature.
So the League match, that was obviously a lot of competitive stuff, and now you've seen League matches, I guess you could say competitive play, go into the live space, right? Live streaming, a lot of people are watching. This has kind of been an international phenomenon that's been happening, and 2 games have been a very big catalyst of this, League of Legends and StarCraft 2. I think a lot of other games haven't really sparked because there hasn't been the support features there for spectators to really enjoy what's happening in the game. You guys have invested a lot of time in this so that you can take on the role of being a shoutcaster, but get all the data to a viewer and the shoutcaster themselves. Is this motivated, obviously, by the success of what's happened in the live space, or did you really want to be able to showcase the competitive movement that you're doing with Black Ops 2?
Yeah, I think it's actually a really important part of this, right? So if you're going to invest a lot of energy, time, and developing League Play as a feature, we all know this because we're sports guys, right? If you have a sport, you also have to put a production around that support, right? You have to have what is any kind of football game without its TV broadcast, right? So, you yourself have done lots of shoutcasts, right?
I have.
So when I watch people do this activity, it was a huge thing for us to look at this and go, why don't we just make this part of the experience? Why isn't there a dedicated spectating mode that's actually good for just having people watch the game?
Good for anybody at that point too. You don't have to necessarily be a person that's actually a shoutcaster. You can go back in and enjoy it if you just get the
That's
data
right. Yeah, in fact, you can go back through the theater and actually load it up in that kind of frame and window and see it. So this is really cool. So it's got a couple of key things that happens, right? So of course you're actually just spectating a player, but you've got this sort of display panel at the top that tells you which factions are in fighting, what the time limit is, sort of like what you'd see on the scoreboard of a sports game.
Yeah.
You also have the name and lights of the player that you're actually watching, right? Because if this was a football game, you'd have a guy with a jersey and a number on the back, right? Well, this is a first-person shooter. Where are you going to put the number? Where are you going to put the name of the player, right? So, name and lights is actually really important, right? That's a guy that you're watching. You want to follow your favorite players, right? So those are 2 of the kind of basics, but it goes well beyond that. We actually changed the map so you can see both sides of the battle when you're in this mode and viewing the battle. So you see not just the team that you're watching, but also the other team, right? That allows you to predict those engagements and figure out, hey,
a mini map too.
Yeah, the action. I'm about to see these 2 guys collide. Then you can use that as kind of as a caster.
Yeah.
You'll be able to use this information to jump to a particular player, right? So you can constantly keep the action in motion. It's our way of doing like multiple cameras if this was a sport, right? Let's go to camera 3, meaning let's go ahead and pick this player. So we do that with this picture-in-picture view. We have the world, we have first person, third person, or this big map, but there's also a panel that lists every player, lists what kind of streak he's on, how many kills in a row he's got, so you know who the hot hand is, so you know who's really on a tear right now. That's usually a good guy to switch to. But you also know if he's on an objective, if he has a flag, if he's defusing a bomb. That's really important information. So we just make this information available to you as a caster so you can use it to show your viewers the best view of the game.
And leagues will like it because you can take certain pieces out if you want to add your own lower thirds or your own whatever your scores. You guys have options to enable and disable different things in the HUD as well.
Right. So we know this because we've seen these matches be casted before. There's a display panel option. It's right there. You can just scroll in and go, I actually want to see the perks of the player if perks were enabled all the time, or I don't want to see them ever, right? Or I want to see the obituaries or kill feed. I don't want to see them, right? So you have sort of control, and you can remove and add the elements of the HUD. Therefore, you can combine it with your own things.
And all of these features do work offline, right? I mean, you don't have to be connected to the internet to use this stuff.
This is the best part about casting a game. You're literally just like a player in the team. So when you go into the pregame lobby, you got these guys will be on a team, these guys will be on a team, and these guys are on this casting team.
Yeah.
And you can have more than one.
So the great part about it is, too, you even have a better So you can, one, you obviously utilize it for the casting features that are set in there, but it's also just if you want to spectate matches in a game, it's a badass way of spectating too.
It's absolutely a badass way.
It's all informative.
Right, and you can turn this off in a custom game. So if you don't want someone
You just
doing
want
this,
standard spectator mode.
right. So it's really important because you don't if you want to know who the guy is that's casting,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
make sure he's
absolutely.
not got both guys on the
Right,
phone and
right.
like playing
Yeah,
them
yeah.
off each other.
Yeah.
So
Just
it's something that
control.
you can straight up disable in a custom
Awesome.
game.
And what's the live streaming component? This has been very interesting. I think this is going to be, I mean, certainly innovative on the console at a whole nother level. You guys are actually planning on being able to push out a live stream from the console, no PC, nothing, just the console. And you can even do like a webcam and you can push out a live stream.
Yeah, what you're talking about is the live streaming feature. It's available in League Play, and then what you can do with this is just scroll down to it and enable it. And this is really important because if you've got all this energy into League Play, you've got all this energy into putting a casting experience around it, you also need a way to get it to everybody.
Yeah.
And what's the best way to get it to everybody than to actually just live stream it to the internet, right? So you need some things. You need some upstream bandwidth, of course.
Of course, yeah, I
right?
mean, you have to be able to
But
accommodate that.
what you don't need is a PC capture rig with
Yeah,
expensive cards
right.
and all that kind of stuff.
And-
It's built right into the game engine.
And a couple questions about that. One, you'll do like some kind of broadband testing to make sure the upstream.
Absolutely. We actually test your bandwidth when you start up the game. So look, if you don't meet the requirements necessary
It's
to
not gonna
stream,
work, yeah.
it'll tell you.
Yeah, perfect. And is this going to be available to everybody in the league matches or just certain qualified leagues?
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out all the business side
scale
of this
of it,
thing
sure,
and the
yeah,
scale,
absolutely.
but here's what I would suspect would happen here. It'll be available, and then until there's so many people doing it where you just can't realistically have that kind of load. So it's something that we have to work out in the as we come to the finish line here.
Yeah.
But look, I think a lot of people are going to be able to live stream, and how we handle this is you need to have viewers in order to sort of activate it in the first place. That way you don't have a million people with nobody watching.
They're watching themselves, one viewer in there.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what I do.
That's why, yeah, right.